Coming up next, I'll hand this to you.
All right.
You can call him a software developer, a researcher, strategist, and overall innovator. I'll call him the founder and CEO of Rivers Agile. So, Mr. Ben Wilson, thank you for coming on today. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
So the best place to start usually is the beginning. So for those who don't know, what is Rivers Agile?
So as we stand today, we're a full-service software development organization focusing on delivering products to market, ranging from energy to healthcare and a span of different company sizes.
Okay. Let's dive into your origins. Before we get into the real technical stuff.
Sure.
Talk about the concept behind its formation.
Right. So I started the organization in 2008, actually as a QA consulting group. That's my personal craft. I had basically built up a set of skills that can help organizations get to market faster, reduce their risk going to market, et cetera. And I basically took my show on the road.
Okay.
So we existed like that really from 2008 to 2014, really as a small boutique organization, not much in the way of marketing. Sort of, if you knew about us, you would use us. We would come in, fix some problems, and set you on your way. In 2014, that's really the launch pad for the company, where we started to do custom software development.
Okay. Now, what all does it take, because I'm sure people come to you with different levels of readiness as far as getting to market, right?
Right.
So talk a little bit about the customization you may have to go through with clients.
There's a bit of grooming that occurs really before we even get started, right? Because we want to make sure that we're helping them bring the right product to market, right? We get everything from back of the napkin to, hey, my buddy and I have been working on this for about a year and we're sort of stuck on this one problem. So usually the conversations tend to be several before we even get started. We intentionally start slow to make sure we're building the right thing, test it with users, and then we start getting heavier into the engineering part of it.
Now, it's software, but software can be all-inclusive. So is it just web design? Is it app design? Is it, actual implementation of what they need for their business?
Usually, it's one or both, right? If you have a mobile workforce, for example, and you're trying to optimize your internal operations, typically you need some type of mobile solution that ties into some web backend where managers and leaders can see data visualization, responding to trending, and things like that.
As far as competition and whatnot is concerned, Pittsburgh, again, with it now being so rich in this new age of technology and digital nature.
That's right.
How have you guys been able to thrive in that?
Well, truthfully, there is some competition. How we view ourselves is we're an engineering-first organization, meaning the first hour of our conversation is not going to be a big sales pitch. We're here to talk about an engineering problem and how we may be able to help you. One of our biggest market differentiators, because we have this foundation in quality assurance, is we offer a 12-month warranty on the work that we do, and we know that we can back that up because our QA game is very strong, of course. And I think that's one thing that, especially if it's an entrepreneur that just recently got some seed funding or something like that, they're not going to get the chance to do it again. So you have to make sure you do it right the first time. And so having an organization that has your back, essentially, for the long run, has spoken volumes to the community.
Absolutely. Now, again, you are Cannonsburg, right?
That's right.
Based out of?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we selected that location because the first software we started to create, and the reason we're here today, is delivering software solutions to the energy industry. And South Point, of course, was the mecca back then.
Sure.
And of course, things have changed considerably since then, of course. But that is where our home is.
Okay. Now, I lost my spot. There we go. On your website, you have a timeline kind of documenting your growth. So run us through that, but then tell us, where does that go from here?
So it's pretty interesting, and we like to tell the story of how we got started and who we are today, because we're telling a narrative that we're still making up, right? Who we are today is not who we were in even 2014, because we continue to add great engineers to our staff, and it allows us to offer more services, right? The strategy for us is certainly growth, but also to continue the path that we've already carved out, which is engineering excellence and making sure we're building the right thing for our clients. If we get those two things married, we're in good shape.
About how big is your team?
About 30 people,
Okay.
mostly engineers. So outside of the engineering staff that we have, we're actually pretty light. We run pretty lean, but that works for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need 85 people to do something.
No, it's more about getting the right people on the right projects. It really is.
And it seems like so far you guys are doing a great job of that. So.
We've been fortunate. Really, the output from the organization is driven by our developers and quality assurance consultants. Without them, really, we wouldn't have any ground to stand on. But we've made a pattern, and we know that it works, and now we're just growing from it.
Right. So let's say 3 to 5 years from now, what can we expect from Riverside?
Outside of global takeover, I would say a broader reach across. Right now we're pretty focused on the Northeast, but I see us expanding a bit more nationwide.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, let's hope for it. So
thank you very much.
Appreciate it very much. Once again, that is Ben Wilson, founder and CEO of Riverside.